The first quantum leap for leaders to make is to recognize the importance of aligning everyone in the organization around a single set of core values, the organization's core values, which I define as the behaviors and activities essential to that organization's success. So this is a bit of a departure from the traditional way that people might think about core values. It's the leader's job, and by leader I don't mean one person, but many people within the organization. It's their job to discover these core values and make them apparent to all. And by doing so, you begin to instill deep feelings of trust, ownership, and mutual accountability. And when leaders engage in this deep exploration of the organization's core values, the consequences can be dramatic. Underlying conflicts are forced to the surface, tough discussions have to take place, and the entire character of the company is changed as it shifts from being personality-driven to being core values-driven. So how do you figure out the core values of your company? What steps do you take? How do you begin the process? Well, developing core values begins with exploring a question like this. What would someone who was acting in the best interests of this organization do to ensure its success? This is the essence of the philosopher John Rawls' neutral man standard, which he articulated in his groundbreaking book, A Theory of Justice. This objectivity is at the heart of thinking about core values. And to make it easier, I've discovered there are kind of a minimum of 7 core values that companies need to explore. In short, these core values encompass what is essential to the success of virtually every type of organization. And by exploring all of them, you can be sure that you've left no stone unturned. But this is just the starting point. You must develop the details surrounding each core value, including the behaviors, or what I refer to as the we statements, that support each core value. You also have to peg the core values to a scorecard, so you can measure whether they're being achieved. In the book, I reveal 7 specific steps for defining your organization's core values. In order to align the core values, you need to view them as part of a coherent framework, a way of communicating what the organization is all about and where it's going. Our 6 rings model is this framework. The 6 rings model looks the same whether you're Microsoft or the Red Cross, JCPenney or the White House. The beauty of the model is that you start in the first ring and work your way outward. Each ring, starting with purpose and going to core values and then to vision, brings a different perspective or lens with which to define your company. When one ring is done, you move on to the next. It's an iterative process, and the work on one ring informs the work on the others. Each ring successively narrows the aperture and defines the specific ways in which the organization creates value. The first 3 rings together form what I call the strategic focus, a nexus around which all activities are coordinated and organized. Will we make this product? Yes, because it's consistent with our strategic focus. Will we enter this market? No, because it conflicts with our core values. In short, when you have a well-defined strategic focus, you can make sound, consistent decisions at all levels. Having a clear strategic focus is the first quantum leap that leaders make to build a light-speed organization. Every human being has a set of core values. You have yours, I have mine. Sometimes these are in conflict. To make things more complex, every culture has a set of core values. And in an increasingly globalized world with increasingly diverse workplaces, this means there are more and more opportunities for different value systems to collide. So first we have our personal values. Then we have these define what are most essential to us as an individual, such as survival, our family, personal dignity and freedom. Beyond these are other personal work values, for example. Some people value amassing a fortune, others value public service. Some people value creativity or teamwork or hard physical labor, while others may value intellectual activity. Another layer of values are our community values. These are the things we consider important in our immediate communities. Some value development, some value green space, some value conservative politics, others value progressive politics. And orbiting around our personal and community values are cultural values. For example, people in Denmark value egalitarianism. Deference to authority is valued in Saudi Arabia. Close-knit families are highly valued in Mexico. A culture's values permeate the people who live within it and define a set of the values of the people there. But swirling around all of these values, we have to think then about the organization's core values. When I talk about the organization's core values, I'm referring to the things that are essential to its success, such as product reliability, or customer satisfaction, or financial sustainability, and ethical integrity. These are values that the organization, if it could speak for itself, would say are essential to its long-term success. Effective leaders who want to generate lasting, sustained success in their organization need to spend a considerable amount of time and energy clarifying and communicating the strategic focus of the organization. This is the first step in building the levels of trust needed to enable people to act nimbly and quickly in the face of accelerating complexity and change. Because by engaging people in a deep examination of the organization's core values, and as you get to the heart of what is essential for your customers and shareholders and employees, you define what's essential for success. This is true whether you're a small company or a large one, a nonprofit or a public entity. Communicating the core values creates powerful alignment across departments and divisions, and this yields clarity of focus and enables people to make better decisions consistently across long spans of time. Aligning people around the core values of the organization is crucial for building trust. It frees managers from the suffocating constraint of having to second-guess every decision or micromanage every detail. In a values-driven organization, managers can delegate more decisions and ask people to think more for themselves. And when people act on the basis of clearly understood values linked to performance measures, they are naturally engaged in making the right decisions consistently over time. People often ask me which of the quantum leaps that I describe in my book are the most important for moving to light speed. And I always sound the same theme. While all 10 are important, aligning people around core values is the first thing that a leader should do. It is the framework and the vehicle that enables you to begin moving at light speed.